Okay, so it's not a midlife crisis. It's a form of spiritual awakening. Is that how I want to say? I would say it's a transition when it comes to your spiritual awakening. But yeah, it's basically your soul is crying and begging to get out because a lot of us took directions in life that wasn't necessarily maybe our choices, or it was just the better way to go because of how society is or your environment or whatnot, whatever, or how you were raised, or the family that you was born in, and as well as if they already had their own companies, and you get it. So, and you also gotta take this in. This is something really to sit with yourself and think about, especially when you have little ones, because you don't want them to go through life and then end up having what they would call a midlife crisis, which is really a form of you having a spiritual awakening. Sometimes that could be someone's start of a spiritual awakening. It's because your soul is urging you to go in the direction of was really meant for you, what makes you happy, who you are, which is why it's very important. I always say to check your soul urge number, so you know which direction to go, so you're not trying to fill this hole, or just trying to figure out why you're not feeling complete when you look around and anyone else looking in can or would take as if you should be happy with everything that you got, or how your life is. But if you're not really doing something that you love, the amount of money that you have or that you're making is not going to make a difference, because you're not truly happy, because you're not walking in your path. You're not in line with yourself. And understand that when you do, because a lot of times, people, they'll worry about, because not everybody always has the means to just up and stop and go on a path that they want to, because it might not come off as the funds to have the life that you want. But the way that the universe works is you be your authentic self and you follow the path that you're supposed to that you're supposed to have, and everything else comes and falls into place too. You don't have to worry about where the money comes from. And it sounds like, okay, but it's true. It is true. And these things are hard to believe because of the way how everything was the illusion, how they perceive everything. It really irks my nerves, because it's like, it's a form of transformation, and it's a beautiful one, and most of the time people get it earlier in life, but because we're on that, they have you on that grind mode, and how what I'm saying, if you're not doing anything, like you're not or you're not helping this world go around with the rest of us, or but when it comes to putting your all into something, why not it be yourself, right? Because for one, you can't do nothing for anyone else if your cup is empty. You got to make sure you're good before you can, yeah, before you can do good for anybody else. You're just draining yourself, cheating yourself. You're not happy. So, you're not, it's okay. Let's say that, to my older crowd out there. Don't get me wrong. Hey, look, I'm almost 40. You know what I'm saying? No shame in like me saying my older crowd, but yeah, like this is around the age where they say we go through a midlife crisis, which is what they caused. Because you start off going to school and you gotta keep up. Like, why is it that your life is in the palm of your hand and your future is in the palm of your hand and you're not even an adult? But they got you making life decisions that can affect you. I get to thinking about that, and it just really irks my nerves because I care for people, and I never really understood that, and I don't want to get all into what they're teaching in school at that. That's everything about our history is a lie. But anyway, so I just want to say, do what's good for you. And it's okay that you're feeling like you may not be in a place that you want to be. And it's time for plan B, and it may be harder for some than it is for others because, they have the means to just up and stop and look into something else that makes them happy, or, you know what I'm saying? It could be backlash, but it's only from people, not financially. Now, see, financially, you got to worry about that because you can't be out on these streets, So you got to turn it into a hobby. It's what you love, right? Go figure out what your soul urge is for. Go figure out what your life path number is. Go figure all this stuff out so you can. It's not a waste of time. It's you. It's your life. It's your higher self guiding you to that. Who else could care for you more than you yourself and what you're striving to be? But it's already there guiding you. Like, imagine, I like to use as an example, how much we love our little ones, and when they're down and out, you just want to pick them up and like just hold them and just guide. Like, that's what your higher self is basically doing. Like, just please, like, reach out to me. Sit with yourself, meditate, listen to these signs that are being sent to you. And, it's not just your higher self, of course, the divine and so on. So, what you believe in. You want to call he, her, I say Christ consciousness. That's what I feel as though is definitely it. Use your discernment. I use that a lot. I don't want to step on no one's toes. We don't want to do that. I just use your discernment when you're watching a lot of these videos, stuff like that. Everybody's going through a spiritual awakening in these videos, and everybody has their own journey. Take what resonates with you, what doesn't. Sit, meditate with it. Your main thing is no one can tell you about your spiritual awakening. No one can teach you about your spiritual awakening better than yourself by sitting and just looking within. I want to keep saying it's not always going to be clairvoyance, but understand it gets exciting because at some point in time it will get to that point. But you got to start off with getting the signs that you've been getting. We've all been tapped in from day one. We're tapped in a little bit. It's your choice to tap in even more. By pay attention to the signs that you get. The more you pay attention, the more you interact or accept these signs and pay attention to and act on them, the more you get. It gets very strong. Like, I've been off YouTube for a while. Been going through a huge transformation. A lot, just a lot. Like I said, I would never steer any of you the wrong way. That's why I always tell and to go sit with yourself and figure out what resonates with you. But I just wanted to sit and have this conversation because there are a lot of people that watch my videos that are in that age group to where they could possibly be going through what they call a midlife crisis, which is really another transformation of spiritual awakening. It could be a start of your spiritual awakening, but just know that it's your soul crying out and letting you know that it's not happy. You're not happy, and you need to look into that. And there's things for you can look. For one, you could go nuts on my page if you go to my playlist. When I talk about from start to finish, like, you can learn a lot by checking out my playlist. Of course, as well as follow and subscribe. And I look, I am happy to be able to relay these messages for you. And yeah, I just wish you the best and understand that, if you do know somebody that possibly is going through a midlife crisis, they're not crazy and it's not their fault. Like how society has us, it's a hustle thing. Like, you don't have time to sit still and really think a lot about what you want. And then a lot of times you're starting off, when your parents are help guiding you to what you want to do in life and hurry up, you got to be quick, figure out what you want to do, and then you got to stick to this one thing. You're in school, or kudos, when you think about it, you got to give these teenagers, you got to give it to them. They're dealing with this stuff that they shouldn't be doing. They should be kids and being teenagers, but they're making life decisions that have to do with their future. And then they get caught up. You get caught up in a life that really wasn't what you chose. And then, come years later, here comes a midlife crisis. Some were lucky to get it before they got older. I mean, look, hey, don't knock it if you did get it way later. You still got time, right? We all got time, You here, you got time, okay? So you can do it. And when you're connecting yourself with the divine and the Most High, your higher self, which is all within you, you're able to take your time. You're able to figure out what you want. You're getting guided. You're healing yourself. You're doing a lot, and it feels good. And of course, you deal with that's where people go, that may not understand. because they may not have went through a spiritual awakening or whatnot, whatever. Mind you, we're all tapped in. Just got to pay attention to those signs. But yeah, you still deal with life stuff. You just got that guidance. Sometimes you can fall off because you have something in life that happens that you just want to be like, fuck it, I'm mad. Excuse my language. You just want to be like mad. You want to be in it. That's fine. Be in it. Just don't be in it for too long. And don't beat yourself up. Don't be doing them horrible thoughts. Because remember, that's what the universe going to bring to you. And next thing you know, you're over, that incident or whatever that may have happened, or that serious, one of those serious hills you had to get over. And next thing you know, bad things or negative things start happening. It's because you got to remember to try your best to stay positive in those times of getting over those little molehills or mountains. They the tough ones. Don't forget it. You're a human. Just because you're tapping into your being side, don't forget you're still a human. A lot of humans forget that they're a being. So when you tap into your being side, don't forget that you're a human. So yeah, you're gonna feel a type of way some days. Sometimes you're gonna fall off and give people what they ask for with your words. But don't try to slip up and mess yourself up on that, because it's like, okay, yeah, you said let that person know what they want, what they need, but who going to lose in the long run? You, because that's going to come back to you. What you put out in the universe is going to come back to you. You may not be in the same way, but best believe it's going to come back to you. So just avoid it in all ways. Try to, but like I said, we're not perfect. We're just humans that tapped into our being side. So don't think that it's all rainbows and butterflies, although a lot of times it feels like that, but it's definitely easier because you're in the knowing when you're going through that stuff, right? But when you hit those mountains, it all that you have experienced, like a knot came right in. Yeah, so all that you experience and all the knowledge that your spiritual awakening, sometimes that can just go all out the window. Just grab it. Don't let it go too far. Because look how far you've come. Start meditating more. You're able to tap into that peace of mind, and the more and more you meditate and keep those positive thoughts, the easier it is to get out of that those situations of doubt, because that's what you're feeling is surrounding you at the moment because of things that are happening. But stay in tune, because watch, you'll start getting your signs of hang in there. You understand you're going through something right now, but understand that things are unfolding. It's happening for a reason. You tapped in. If you tapped in, you good. Certain things have to happen in order for other things to unfold, just as well as you have to lose things in order to get better. Some of those things can be painful, but it's worth it. And it's a part of your path. And, you can go off your path. Yeah, you go off your path and you wonder why certain things are happening. You gotta tap back in. Get back in line. And you can tell. A lot of us get signs and we know what we should be doing. Sometimes we just don't want to listen. But don't blame what you may be causing because you might not be listening. Excuse me. as well as, stuff happens. Everything you say, I say, well, it's said that everything happens for a reason. It does. It does. But what a lot of people don't understand is that because you ended up in a place where, a certain somebody came and did something to you. You know what I'm saying? A stranger, something. I don't know. You find yourself in a situation and something bad happens. And you're like, oh, everything happens for a reason? Yes, everything happens for a reason. And what that reason is that you probably was in a place where you shouldn't have been because you wasn't in line with yourself. And if you was in line with yourself, you wouldn't have been in that place in the first place. A lot of things can happen to you that doesn't make sense when it comes to, oh, but it's said that everything happens for a reason. Yeah, but if you done fell out of line and things are happening to you, it's because you done fell out of line. It's not a learning experience. That's probably a wake-up call to tell you something ain't right and you need to check back in, go meditate, figure out what's what, because obviously you in the place or you're in an environment, people, whatever, wrong crowd, yeah. That's where those type of situations that happen to you and you questioning everything happens for a reason so you can learn, or you got loops out here. You got people that's caught in a loop because they're comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. Don't do that. Don't cheat yourself out of a better life. So, we're not out here playing the blame game. We are not a victim to our lives. No one is. Besides the fact that society lied to us and stuff like that, but, tap in after a while like you're not a... I wish people understood how powerful they are. Get these spiritual gifts. You tap in. You're really able to guide just yourself, as well as the guidance of your spiritual guides and the divine and all that's within you. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, stay strong, people. Just because we're all having a spiritual awakening, ones that's, obviously you are, this resonates with you, you still here. So it resonates with you, you're going through a spiritual awakening, no matter what stage you are, as well as you can, no matter what stage you are, just know that you're finding yourself. You're finding who you truly are. Because that person who you was before you had a spiritual awakening was not necessarily 100% you. Yeah, death for the old you. So, stay tapped in. Talk to him. Sit. You don't even have to. Meditation can be cleaning while listening to music that makes you feel good. Okay? Could be sitting still and just be. Sure. Sit with the lights and stuff. Y'all like, I don't know. lights on the curtains. Can't really see. Whatever. It looks good. It might, you can't see on here, but I love my little space right here. Got lights certain way. I can even have music, no music, silence, just sit, color, journal, all of that. Find out who you, when you journal, you find out who you really are too. It's nice to come back and see who you are. You know, you kind of see yourself in a different perspective. I mean, yeah, you're probably like, I know who I am. You know, I don't have to journal, but you'd be surprised. And then you get to see the experiences that you've been, not dealing, I don't want to say dealing with, because a lot of it is lovely. But yeah, you do deal with some stuff. But I mean, like I said, when you're in the knowing and stuff like that, it's, ooh, but them transformations, when I tell, yeah, you feel, ooh, them transformations, that's just a feeling you feel. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you just feeling it. You just meditate as much as you can. Ground yourself. When you're going through those transformations and you getting these feelings, sometimes you can feel like you're disconnected from the divine, but you're not. Okay? You're going, like, your body is changing in a way mentally. Like, you're getting wisdom, these gifts, like uploads, all, yeah, codes, all of that. And then when you come out the transformation, it be something, don't it? Like, next thing you think, like, certain things be happen. Like, for me, one of the things that I've noticed that changed is, okay, so usually I'll be tapped in and stuff like that, and I'll just get all types of information. I like to say uploaded, but people say downloads. I like to say uploads. But yeah, so you're getting all this information. But lately, like, I'll get it like in mid-conversation, where it's not like just information being uploaded. It'll be a word that I'm looking for, or they'll give me a word, even words that I don't usually use. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting to me. Some other things too. You know, all of a sudden, epiphanies, or, you know, just understand, showing me things to where I can understand why that has happened in the past, or what really happened in the past, or especially if it seems that I might be thinking about certain, like, I don't know. that was me pulling back from not going there. But yeah, just guidance. But it comes through very clear and very fast. You ask something, you get it. Yeah, so yeah, y'all just keep tapping in, okay? You want to be up on that level to where it's like, I want to be able to get, you know, signs, messages, you will. Stay tapped in. Look up all these insects and animals you happen to see. Or, oh, look, oh, there's a bunny. Like, you walking with your kid, oh, there's a bunny. Remember that bunny when you get home. And Google, what does it mean spiritually when you see a rabbit? Even colors matter. Like, I seen an ant today. The day before, they made sure, because I kind of did, like, let it go over my head, whatnot. And I've seen it 3 times. Seen 3. I've seen a moth today. So, you know, I get my signs, I pay attention, and I look them up. So now, like, I get signs out the wazoo. Like, just, especially if you set up things with your spiritual guides, so therefore you know what to look for. You can make up anything. Numbers, certain numbers. So you see these certain numbers on a building or a place, a bookstore, or something like that, go up in it. Or you come across a video with those numbers on it. But you probably want to add on a few more things so you know that, okay, yeah, this is a direct message from the divine. Because it's a lot of videos out here, people. Do you really want to be searching through all them videos? You know what I'm saying? I get, the spiritual videos where it's like basically teaching you about spiritual awakening at this point. I feel like most of us aren't watching these videos to necessarily learn about the spiritual awakening. Like, for me, it's watching them because it's something that I experienced or already experienced or is experienced or can feel that, oh, there's a possibility I'm going to be experiencing that, and then you sit and, yeah, all of that. So, yeah, just, yeah, you gotta think about these things. And like I said before, nobody can guide you through this spiritual awakening. There's no one better than yourself. So here on my videos, here on my channel, I explain and talk about things that I've been through. I explain and talk about messages that I get. Sometimes I just sit here and start talking and boom, comes, uploads come in. I like to say uploads instead of downloads, and I speak and talk on them. Sometimes, and that's like if it's on the topic, because like I said, like I need things to come in 3 times, especially if, look, I ain't out here just saying anything to people or trying to lead people the wrong way. Especially all my life, all I wanted to do was to help people. I'm a healer. Yeah, like when you go and check out these things, your life path, your soul urge number, your karmic number, your spirit animal, your all this stuff, and then the life that you've already been life in will make a lot of sense. The choices that you made in your life will make a lot of sense. Yeah, and as well as some of the choices that might not have been, possibly. See, for me, here we go, holding back again. Let's just say it wasn't no crazy life choices now, people. See, I don't want to leave it up to y'all to think about what I'm talking about. Relationships for me, daggone it, okay? Yeah, so I understand why, my relationships went the way that they did because of who I am as a person and being a healer. And I'm a life path 4 and a 6 because I was born on a 6. So if you look into that, like 6s and can be known for very loving and like putting people before themselves, and can be a little codependent, stuff like that. And see, and this is like why you need to look into these things, because you can also find out the negative traits of you that you can heal, because that's what your higher self, spiritual awakening, all that stuff is helping you do. You're healing yourself, and you find out the bad traits of life path 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're able to heal these things. And some you've already healed on your own. Like you've already, like I said, you're tapped in whether you know it or not. When it comes to your family members around you, it's just so much noise out here, and people are so busy, and People don't take a time. They don't take the time to just stop and be still. So therefore, you can see, hear, smell, see these signs that you may get. Like people that will sit there and be, you smell. Why all of a sudden I smell? Da, 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 da. That is a gift. That's part of a gift. That's part of a psychic gift. You know what I'm saying? A part of, it's in the categories of clairvoyance. I forget what it's called. Look, I have it. Yeah, I've been doing it all my life. And it could be like, especially like a smell or something. Like, you know how people they'll smell a family member that's passed away. Like, just because it isn't a smell of a family member, it could be a smell of a food. It could, and if you sit and be still for a second, like, and act, okay, why am I smelling that smell? It could have been like something that a loved one that you love so much that is just wants to be around you, and that smell that you smell is one of their favorite foods, and you missed it. Because this world can be so on a hustle, you know? This world is a beautiful place. It's a very beautiful place. But it can be a dark place too. It can be amazing. It can be a struggle. It can be hard. It could be easy. It could be great. But you create your own reality, you know? And when you tap in, you start to understand that, and it becomes more than just someone telling you you create your own reality. You gotta get more. I'll be the first person that gets technical with all this crap. I don't want to say crap. It's just that the way that things are said, and it kind of makes me think about like how, cause the terrestrials, they're there, you want to call aliens, whatever you want to call them. Yes, they are there, and people wonder why wouldn't they come down here and help us. And first off, they're here. They've been here for a long time. They've been trying to help us. They're trying to help us, but they can only do so much because most of the world is in what you call survival mode. And then every time, like, we feel like even that incy little bit threat, we want to start fighting people. You know what I'm saying? We walking around here not liking people just because of the color of their skin. Like, what kind of sense does that make? Like, society is crazy. Like, you're not born like, hold on, wait, I don't like that baby because that baby is black. No, society did that. Whoever you know what I'm saying? If your parents ain't did it, society did. The news, everything, vision, everything is an influence. If you don't think so, look, nobody would be out here dancing on bar tables if somebody didn't do it first. And if you didn't see somebody else doing it, how would that pop in your head? Like, let me go dance my ass on this bar. Excuse my language. But yes, like, everything is an influence. That's why a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, every time you go through your spiritual awakening, when somebody goes through a spiritual awakening, you are in solitude. You are deaf to the old you and becoming the new you, okay? And then that's one of the main reasons why it's said, do not fall back into your old beliefs. Don't fall back into when you get back out into this world after, he didn't put you through it. I mean, not he. I would say the God frequency, the divine, you, yourself, your higher self tapped you. It's time to wake up. Yeah, that. Your soul is sick of the bull. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you, look, we deserve better type of thing. It's, you are, you find who you are, you in isolation, you learn and all this stuff. Like, the veil has been removed. Like, you finding out all types of stuff that's really going on. The illusion is gone. You know what I'm saying? The illusion is completely gone at this point. So it's time, like, you finding out who you are. So when you get back out there, you start to get back, you have to learn to live your life now as this new you who has been awakened. And you got to learn how to balance that. Like, you don't necessarily have to cut everything off. I don't know. Maybe later on your higher self will lead you to cutting all that stuff off at some point. But balance it out. Like, don't stress yourself out. Your spiritual guides, I'm sure, are telling you, like, it's not that serious. You got to level yourself out. You can't be all, like, just hung up on your spirituality and forget about the rest of you, everything else that's going on around you. Don't ascend, like, pull you. Come here. Come back here. Like, you can't just ascend and just be gone. So, yeah, it's okay to, like, do some of the things, like, whatever. Watch your movies, but understand that, like, what these movies are about. What these shows are about. And what it does to your body, regardless if you can feel it. Like, feel it, can feel the ickiness that it's doing, or, to your body and stuff like that. Like, your body responds to things. Your brain responds to what you see, and your body responds to your brain. So you're watching a whole bunch of conflicts and all this stuff, as well as we've been lifing. If you're around the age I am, we've been lifing for a long time. So your brain is seeing things that you've probably been through or dealt with. Look, relationships, life, school, job, all of that. So it's going to trigger your body, whether you think it is or not. It is. And you need to release that. So that's where that balance comes in. Don't be watching all that stuff for a long period of time. Balance that out. And maybe at some point in time, like, it's just not your cup of tea no more. Like, you start to realize and feel like, no, that's not it. And then, especially when you when you do decide to do that, and then, like, sometimes, look, not everybody is on the same page as you. So you out here with people, friends, and stuff like that, you're lifing. You know what I'm saying? You still got a life, although you had a spiritual awakening and you see things different. You know what I'm saying? So, rhyme with somebody else that likes music, that's a whole bunch of like, yeah, like, the music that's out here attacking the youth and got people thinking, or I don't even want to get into that. Oh my goodness, that some of it is just like, are you really telling these young girls this? Like, I just want to be like, no, because these little girls be thinking it's cute, be fast in school, and like the twerking and all. So, yeah, like, you gotta, what is it called? When you, migrate, I don't know. You look, so, yeah, and you gotta release the stuff. What I'm trying to say is, and then it's hard, you can't just stop. I haven't listened to the music I used to listen to, and the most longest time, the only music I listen to is, like, things that have to do with raising my vibrations and stuff like that. It's good music. Got beats to it. Go check out my playlist. It's on my playlist. I got some. But yeah, you still got a life, and there's other people in your life. So yeah, like you can't be like, oh, I don't listen to that music. Turn that music off. Like, come on. But like though, because you change doesn't mean the world around you is gonna change right away. You know what I'm saying? Lead by example. But or you can express why you may not, or what it is. Sometimes people look at you like, huh, what you mean? Can't nobody influence me to do nothing? But then they wonder why, like, you so tense, or like somebody you ready to, like, what? But I don't know. Look, everybody different. I'm alright. I'm babbling. Basically, what I'm trying to say is take the time to release all of that. If you do want to watch something that could lower your vibrations, or music and all that stuff, whatnot, balance it out. Take some time, go meditate. You don't always have to meditate. Go watch a nature show. Watch something on YouTube. Watch a video that has water. Like, that even works too. Like, it's a whole thing. Vision, the body reacts to things, and a lot of society knows that, and everything is a distraction. You gotta stay focused, but you gotta be happy. Main thing, be happy. Live your life. You're here to create, and you're here to lead by example. You can't force nobody into a spiritual awakening. You can't force people into knowing what's going on, and sometimes they just ain't ready, because it's a lot. All breaking through the illusions can be a lot for some that has had a grip on to those illusions. And then a lot of this stuff is like, you go through some paranormal stuff. You go through like a lot of stuff that you would say magical, unexplained. Had people looking at you like, huh? And see, I'm a Scorpio. So when I went through my spiritual awakening, I came out the dark. We come from the dark. So I see both sides. That was something for me. Like, yeah. Woke up, spiritual awakening. Oh, and understand, number one, when you wake up, they know you're awake too. And what I mean by they, I don't have to explain. You already know. But just make sure they don't guide you the wrong way. Because a lot of times we wake up in a low vibrational state. So therefore you got all those low vibrational spirits trying their best to get as much energy as they can from you before you get to that wisdom, and you get to that understanding, and you get to that what's going on. And when you get to that raising your vibrations, and they can't touch you no more, they come heavy, and they come with no feelings. All they want is your energy. And they got people working for them too. That's in the reality form with these tarot cards. Do you think they don't get gifts too? They working for that. They working for that dark energy. A lot of them. Now you got a lot of good tarot card readers too. Stay negative. You know what I'm saying? Keep you, yeah. But pay attention. Use your discernment. Okay? There's a lot of tarot card readers out here that's working for that dark energy. Oh, and best believe that dark energy running around in their homes too. I watched one person go through that shit. He tried to quit. I ain't gonna say his name because he's still out there doing it now. And I saw the other dark tarot card readers flip on his ass. Excuse my language. I saw them flip and start sending out messages, little secret messages to him because he decided to fall out of it. But now he back on doing it again. Yeah. He was the one that was crying about the dark energy running around in his house because he messing with them tarot cards. This ain't no game. I'm telling you, don't be dibble-dabbling in stuff that you don't understand. If it's negative, get out of it. Don't mess with that. You stay in the positive area. If you don't know what you doing, what's going on, or like you, fresh early stage of your spiritual awakening, don't you go to no tarot cards. You don't know what you dealing with. You don't know what you listening to. You need to figure out, sit with yourself, first of all. They even say that in the Bible. But people still out here praising Jesus. I'm not saying like praising Jesus, but I don't even like using the name because they look, y'all know the veil been veiled from your eyes. I'm just saying, sit with yourself. Talk to the Most High. Okay? Which is within you, your higher self. Talk. That's who you're supposed to be talking to. It even says it in the Bible. Don't get nobody, don't from no man or the main person, main source. That's who you're supposed to listen to. But yeah, like I said, be careful of those tarot cards. Understand, there's a lot of low vibrational spirits running up and all through that. Use your discernment. You're highly protected. Why do you need to know that shit? Excuse my language, but you are highly protected. You tapped in and all that stuff. These people telling you about your... Doesn't something seem a little off? Like they trying to realize, these spirits trying to isolate you from everyone and everything. And they got you after that. Ask yourself that. You watching them tarot cards, right? Is it a lot of negativity? Are they telling you that people are doing this and this and that to you? Are they telling you even your neighbors are coming for you? Like, get out of that. For real. Seriously. You want answers to all that stuff? Ask your spiritual guides. Be asking no tarot cards. And then is it a video that you're watching, or are you getting a reading from that person? And then be careful of that too. Lie to you about that too. Tell you you ain't as powerful as you are, or as gifted as you are. Do you know how many setups it is when it comes to after you have a spiritual awakening? I mean, I know you've all been through it. I mean, there's so much out here that's false. Oh, and they say false prophets and stuff like that. And use your discernment with that too, I would say. Because I'm like, just use your discernment. Like, you know how you, like, you know how you're tapped in and all that stuff. And when you listen to certain preachers and certain people out here that could be claiming to be prophet, but it's false prophet. Where I come from, there's no hate. the Most High, the divine, the connection that I'm with, there's no hate. There is no hating or judging or not liking someone because of the color of their skin or because they like the same sex or because they just, those are two big things. Well, first of all, they don't really talk about the race thing, but when it comes to God's supposed to strike you down if you gay? So you out here telling me that I'm out here walking around being a better person than God? I don't know what God y'all like. I don't know what God that is, but that one's not mine. He's full of love and, well, and it's not a he. God frequency. Okay? It's an energy for me. And the divine ones and stuff and all of that. Like, it's all energy in you and stuff. Like, it's all you, universe, all that. Definitely something there, guiding us and protecting us and all of that, whatnot, whatever. But the way I feel, it, to me, it feels like an energy within you. Like, that gold that they say that drips down, go your pineal gland. Did I say that right? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, like you feel that, like the little tingling numbness, like right there in the back where it would be, like right where you would go to get, yeah. Like, I videos we watching, it's not really much to learn anymore. It's just to hear what I'm experiencing and going through, and it's nice to know that, well, at this point, basically don't feel like I'm crazy. Like, I know this is legit. Like, I already, ain't no question, like, But in the beginning stages, it was nice to know that you wasn't crazy. And it was nice to, come across, the things that you've been experiencing. And it's not like it's in your head or it's because you done watch these videos and it's all in your head, like brainwashing stuff. No. And of course, some people are going to think that hasn't experienced it yet or tapped in, which I would say, because we're all powerful people. We're not better we aren't better than, and when I say chosen ones, like, I don't really like that term because it's what? We're just the ones that were volunteered to help wake up the rest of the world, and look crazy while doing it. Until everybody hops on and taps in and like, okay, yeah, this is real. Because, all the stuff that they coming out with and like, how could you ignore it? A lot of people are distracted by what's going on. Like, all these findings and all of this stuff that's going on. That's why when certain people comment, please don't don't comment on my page unless you check out stuff first. I don't like wasting. And that's what I was talking about earlier, like with the aliens, right? And like us with the, having a spiritual awakening, and when the veil was removed and like, so much stuff and all this wisdom has come to you, and it's like you want to explain, say somebody asks you a question or something, or you're talking about a certain topic when it comes to spiritual awakening, so you're talking about it, but it's like, no, it's so much more. Like, in order for you to understand this, you got to know this. But hold on, wait, but then you have to know this. And then, so, right, like they're like billions, trillions ahead of us. Where could they start to try to even break it down to us? They're doing it now, slowly but surely. A spiritual awakening and stuff. How could, how us sitting here and explaining this stuff to you, or all of this evidence that's out here at this point now, because it's so much, and people still don't want to believe it, and you expect them to come out and hey world, what it is, let me tell you, look, let me break it down for ya. Hopefully you don't try to kill us first. I mean, unalive. Yeah, you gotta watch them words on these videos. But yeah, like, good gracious, it would be a lot. Like, where would they start? That's how I feel when I try to explain a spiritual awakening sometimes when I'm talking to people, stuff like that. Like, for instance, when I was talking earlier about what was I saying? Ooh, you tried it. Pulled that out, anything. What was I was talking about? Something. Oh, my mind went blank. But that would have been a great example. But yeah, I was talking about something earlier, and then I was explaining that, but no, it's, oh, yeah, how everything happens for a reason. How we say everything happens for a reason. But when something out of nowhere happens, like, I don't want to use that example. That's kind of dark. But, okay, let's say you was somewhere and something bad happened, but it didn't make sense for it to happen when it comes to it being a learning experience, or the universe giving back to what you put out there, or anything of that nature. Like, it just doesn't make sense with you. But it was because you were out of line. I'm not saying like you're out of line. No, I'm saying like you were out of line when it comes to your path in life. You were somewhere where you wasn't even supposed to be. Because that happens. Kind of like with us, with, like how this whole world, yeah. But, yeah, I was getting something. I was thinking about it. Gotta stop thinking. Yeah, they like to tell me, don't be holding back and stuff. Tell you things for you, so key. Like I said, I don't be the last person to lead people the wrong way, and always go and sit with yourself after you watch my videos. And don't forget that at times things that resonate with you, other things may not resonate with you. It could be because it'll resonate with you later, or it just might not resonate with you at all, and it wasn't meant for you. But what was meant for you, take it, make it your own. Sit with yourself, figure it out, like we all are. You can change your whole destiny in a second by choosing to do something else instead of what you was about to do, or do what you was going to do instead of what you thought about doing. It's your journey, it's your path. So can't nobody tell you what it is. So you take in what you're out here looking at and listening to. And don't forget to tap into the divine. Have an understanding with them when it comes to the messages. Why not? It's so much out here. I tell you, I feel so much better and way less lost, and don't have to question what I'm getting, because I look for certain signs in videos and stuff like that we got a understanding about, so I'm not out here getting misled, you know? So yeah. Much love. Don't forget to check out my playlist. It's so much stuff you could learn there. So hope you enjoy. If you do, go and check that out. Nice meeting you. If this was your first time on my page, if this, you've been, hi, how are you? Looking forward to people starting to comment at some point in time. Talking back to people. All right, anyway. Y'all have a great one. Peace, not peace. That right there, that's war. You can look that up. That's war. This right here is peace. Peace, love, and light to each and every one of you. Even the ones that's lurking. Have a good one.